Hi guys, my name is Girish, and I'm going to tell you like how quickly we can build an API using Node.js and Express with TypeScript. So that is the main agenda of this video. So many videos might suggest you to create a folder structure, but not with TypeScript. So we are going to learn how we can create a structure, how we can quickly build an API with TypeScript. Okay. So to initially generate a folder structure, I'm going to use this famous package Express generator. You might or might not be aware of this one, but you should be aware of this npm package. It is quite useful. So you don't need to be install this package in your system. So we can use this npx command, okay, to generate a folder structure. So assuming, or you can also install it globally, as you know. If you do not want to install, you can use npx. Okay. Let's add this as a global package in our system. Okay. Let's add it. Uh, let's wait for this package to get installed. So now it is installed. Once installed, all you have to do is just type express. So it will generate folder structure as you see. So basically for this video we do not need to worry about the views. Let's see how we can quickly build an API. Let's make a request and make sure we got the response. Okay. So this is the folder structure. Let's see in VS Code. Okay. So I have a sample project which I already built. Okay, I'm going to just pick the lines of code from that project. It's step by step so that you can understand. So now we have this project structure and generated in .js format, and it has a lot of unnecessary folders which is not required for this video. So I'm just going to remove it, like waves. We're not bothered about this waves. So we have this app.js. I'm going to talk about this later, and we have this routes and public. So basically to have a better organization of the code, so we can have a new folder for source. We can put all our routes and everything within this source. Okay. Let's cut this folder routes and paste it under this. Okay. And under routes, update imports of routes. No, not for now. Okay, let's update it afterwards. So we have this routes. Yes. Hmm. Uh, hmm. So since our agenda is how to set up this project with TypeScript, uh, we need a .ts extension. Okay, so I'm just going to rename every file with JS to TS. Okay, package that down .ts. Let's delete. Let's stick with only index route for now, and let's rename it to TS because we need TypeScript to be set up. And public, since we are building an only API, we don't need to serve any assets. So we don't need this public folder for this video. So okay, we have quite a simple structure now. Okay. Uh, hmm. As you see, uh, we have a lot of code in one file in app.ts. Okay. Let's consider our app.ts as the beginning point of our Node.js application. Okay. So let's have another file called server.ts. Okay. This server.ts does all the setting of the middlewares, creating routes, creating error handlers, creating these 404 form paths, throwing 404 errors, etc. etc. Okay, so since we are using TypeScript, it's better to take advantage of TypeScript and by creating classes than exporting these express instances we get. So we have our server TS. Okay. Uh, okay. I will copy some of the things here. Okay. And I'm going to copy step by step so that you can understand. So we are going to export a class. So within the class, we set up all the things which are here, which are present here in an organized manner. Okay. So again, we don't need views. I just want to replace this. Okay. And we are not serving any assets. We don't need this. Also, we don't need this users for now. Let's check with the control, and we need this error handlers. Okay. So let's put all this JS code without TypeScript within a file with TypeScript. So how we can do that? It's a simple way. So basically, we are going to create a private variables as you see. So first, so now we have this private variables uh, called app and port, and we have this environment port. We're taking the port number from the environment variable. Okay, I will talk about the environment variables at the end of the video. So we have these things, and let's have a constructor. So, okay. So when we create a class, so we are going to instantiate that class. So while instantiating, we can create these middlewares. Okay. So all this class does is what this app.js was doing. So it's all basically setups this express middlewares and routes. Okay, just in an organized manner. So this dot app basically here we are creating an express instance. So we have this express object. Okay, so here also we have this express object as you see. The same variable is used to. So okay, now we have this express object setup in a similar way that it was set up in app.js previously earlier. Okay, so we just you can add any middlewares you want. Okay, like logger from Morgan and express middlewares like JSON for passing JSON, cookie parser for parsing the cookies from the HTTP request, and basically you can add within the constructor any basic middleware that you need for your application. Remember my word, basic middlewares like this. So let's quickly import those middlewares. Okay, let's copy all these things uh, which we require. So okay, we are now having we will resolve those errors later point. Okay, uh, now we have set up the constructor. Okay, so the next step, as you see, this is not enough. We have routes, we have these callbacks, we have to handle errors, we have to handle 404, 404 errors, etc. etc. So how to achieve that? It's simple. So all you need to do is just create another public method. Okay, like this one. So where you do this route setup. Okay, again this app again refers to this express object, okay, which is basically a private variable on the class. This app does means that you're basically using the express object. Okay, so here you're setting up this routes. Okay, currently we have this index route. Okay, I'm going to explain this index router part just after some time. So basically here we are again setting routes in this method. Okay, and we are just passing the calls using next if we didn't find any router. Okay, so uh, I'm going to explain like how the control flow executes. So for example, uh, when uh, when we make a request from browser to node.js, it is going to find whether that route is going to match any of our routes that we declare in our application. So for example, we might have something called users. So it will check this one and then it will check this one. Okay, users. So if it matches, then this itself will return the response. So if it doesn't match any of the routes that we declare, it just passes to the next middleware where we just create found not found error because we do not find any path for your request. So we just say like 404. Oh, sorry, we didn't find that route that you requested from the browser. Okay, so we are setting up the routes in this method, and let's set up error handlers. Again, we're just organizing one by one here. So I'm just copy paste this method here. So setting error handlers, and basically it just catches any error from the application, and if that error caught has a status, it just returns to the browser or caller of this nodal application with this error status, if not just a 500 internal error. So uh, then let's see, we can have a start server method. So basically we are taking advantage of a TypeScript classes so that we can organize the code better way. Uh, some on server listen callback, blah blah blah. Okay, I think we are good here. Mm, okay, and we have some other callback. Okay. Hmm. So what we done? So basically, as you see, this is our error handler which was in app.js. We just put it in whole server.ts file to handle those errors, to return the error status. And this is our start server method where we are creating a HTTP server and we are starting on a port. This .app again referred to this one express application. So this port again refers here, which is taken from the environment variable or from 3005 value that we just put there. So we are now having every middleware setup, basic middleware setup in the constructor, and we set up the routes, and we set up the error handlers. We are written on start server code. Everything needed to run the application, to run the basic application is set up. Okay. So what are these? Cannot find module express or its corresponding declarations. Okay. So basically, I wanted to tell whenever you set up a TypeScript project, there should be a TS config file. Okay. So I'm just going to create that TS config dot file here. I'm just copy pasting the file TS config file. Okay. So let's create. tsconfig.json. Okay, so it's entirely totally depend on your project or what you're going to set up here. So basically, as you see, like we are having a lot of errors. Even though we imported these modules correctly, you might be wondering why we are getting these errors. So basically, it is saying like we didn't find any type declarations for this module. So basically, we are going to install types for Express or any module that we install. For example, this Express will have its own types. Okay, so let's install those types. Types bar Express. Okay, you can also need in detail. You can go to the types Express. So just install these things. Install these types. This error should go away for Express. Let's see. See, it went. It went. Oh, let's do similarly for other packages. Mm-hmm. Okay. Similarly for key parser. Similarly for HTTPS. So now we have resolved those declarations errors, and these two errors are different. Basically, it's not a module. Yeah, of course, it's not a module. So let's create some interface because we are using this response error type here and setting the response. So source interfaces. Let's check whether we have set up a correct structure or not. So within the source, we have these routes, and let's have this interface outside. Okay, and let's create an interface called common interface. Common interface node.js, and let's take it from my example project. Okay, so basically this interface extends the error interface. Okay, but that error interface doesn't have a status, so we just going to put an optional field. So let's resolve this error. Okay, this response error. So now we have this routes. Within the routes we have index. Okay. Yeah. So let's see how we can organize this index of TS file. If you remember, this was an index.js file generated by Express generator. Okay. So let's also see like how we can create a routing class using TypeScript okay, and organized in a good way. Okay, as I said, like any instance that you create should be in a constructor like this one. So this should be within this constructor of the TypeScript class. Okay, let's comment this one so that you can understand it better. This was our previous JS code, and let's create a class. Let's take it from my project here. Index router. So let's have a variable called router. We want to import this one later. Oh, automatically imported. And I'm going to copy paste this thing. So as I said, so if you want any express object or any object from any third party middle, just initiate in a constructor. So this dot router again refers to express dot route. And this is a private method called create routes. So basically, we are calling this create routes within constructor just to create the routes. This dot router again, this dot router again refers to this express router, and it's nothing but this router dot get this path, and this is a request response on next, and just send success. Okay, so all we are doing is similar to what we express generator has generated. So it's nothing but the router dot get, and again this router points to this express router object, and the same way here, just organizing the code in a better way. So I'm going to just remove this JS code. Hope you understood. Um, and we need to express an instant of the router. Then you have to see, if you see this file which was present earlier has module.expert router. Okay, this router is nothing but an object of an express dot router. Okay, so we need to some way to export this router. So all you can do just create an instance of this class and just export. That's a constant. So now we have like this. So we are basically a new index of this one. Basically, it creates an object instance of the index router, dot router, nothing but just returns this access dot router. So now we are exporting this router index dot shell. So now we have index router. As you see, there was an error. Now it is not there. So what we did, okay? So now it has we have everything set up here. Okay. Uh, so let's concentrate on environment variables. Okay. So till we till now, what we have done is we have everything to respond to a request with TypeScript. Okay. So let's concentrate on our package.json. Okay. We have Morgan for logging, we have debug, we have STP errors, so we don't need this J. Uh, okay, we have added the types as well. That's fine. So, it is better to install these type declarations for third-party modules as a dev dependencies. I think now you can do it by yourself. Now for now it's okay. Let it be here. So the agenda is to quickly create an API using TypeScript, as you know. So let's see, like we have every code that can respond to a request. So mm, let's have some packages which we can use to set up environment variables. I'm going to tell you like how we can set up environment files for various environment for development, testing, and production. Okay. I'm going to use this custom environment package. Okay, and .nv package. Just copy paste those packages here. So .nv basically meant for loading the environment files. It's a famous npm package and custom environment. Again, it will load an environment file, but we can provide multiple environment files. I will show how we can use this custom env. Okay, let's put it there. And what else we need for environment variables? I think that's enough. Yeah. So now let's do npm install. I think npm install. Let's wait for installation to complete. So okay. We have installed every packages. So this is a TypeScript node application. We need a ts-node package. Okay. Uh, Without ts node, the application just fails if you do just node.app.ts. Okay. We need to have this ts node package to be installed in your system. Okay. And let's add this as well. Let's install this. And let's copy the start script from my example application. Basically, we have written a script start. So we also need this cross CNV. I will tell you the significance of this package as well. So now we have this cross env and custom env packages installed in our application. Basically, a cross env sets it adds an environment variables to the existing set of environment variables. For example, as you see in the start script, we have this cross env node environment equal to development. So what it does is this node env variable is getting added to the list of existing environment variables in our system. So this node env will have a value called development. Okay. So we have ts node installed, and to run the app.ts, and as I said, app.ts is the entry point for application. Just look for app.ts. Okay. Still this has our old code. So we have built the server ts, so we have organized in a very good manner, as I said. So we need to call the server instance
from the app.ts, because this is the beginning point. This has our old JS code. So let's replace with our new code where it calls a server instance we just created. So I'm just going to wipe out these things and just test it. So what it does basically, it imports a server instance, server. So we are going to create the instance of the server, new.server, and we're just calling the public methods of this server. As you see, when we just create a new server, all these middlewares got instantiated, and we call this setroute setroute, which is a public method, which is present here. We're going to just call one by one here within the app.ts, and we're going to just start the server. Start server, just create a HTTP server, and it listens on a port that we specify. So as you see, our TS node will execute the app.ts. Here we have a control now. Then this will create a server instance, instantiate routes, have handlers. Okay. So as I said, we are using some environment file for different type of environment, right? We use different environment files for different types of environments, like production, development, and testing. So when we have control over this client, okay, so process.env.node.env, okay, so this node env will have this development value. So as I said, we are using a custom env package. So all it does is it just loads an environment file that you specify. So basically, it's similar like this development. So it was going to just look for .env development file. So I will create this file env development. Okay, so I'm just going to create a port 3009 something like this, any port. So process.environment node env will have a value development, so it will just look for .env development and loads all the environment variables present in that particular file. So similarly, we can have another script that does build production build, but with a different value. Okay, so here we can put a production. Okay, so we can put a production, and just create another file called .env.production. So it will start with that environment file. Basically, now we can use multiple environment files for different environments. So that's the use of cross env along with custom env. I like this package the most. So okay, we don't need this package or .env for now. Okay, I'm going to just uninstall that .env. So now we have everything set up to run with environment file. Okay, basically it should run on a port that we specified here 3009, unless this port is occupied by some other process. Okay, yeah, let's see. I'm going to start a server now. So npm start. Let's see. Okay, npm install didn't succeed. Okay, so now we have everything set up. Let's start off. Everything works. As you know, we will get some errors always. What is this? Cannot find express name in index.ts. Let's go to this file. Oh, we missed something. So, what we have missed? We missed to import express. See, now it went. Let's start it again. Let's hope for the best. Oh, Hap is listening on port 3009, which we mentioned here. So basically, we are loading this env.development file, and we are loading this 3009 port. So it just picks this port number from environment variable, and if it doesn't, it picks from 3005. So as we know, we just now have set up a single route index.ts. So this index.ts we mounted on this server, right? This .app.use mounted on this basic route index router. So basically when we request an index route, now we should get success in the browser. Okay, let's see what we get. We got the success. So guys, so to summarize, so first we used express generator to generate basic photo structure, then JS to TS should be our next step, and the third step should be to create a TS config file. So it will have a lot of options based on your requirement of your project. Just set these things: tsconfig.js on file, and and for environment setup. So I mean, for environment file setup, we need this cross env and custom env packages to load different environment files based on the environment. And then what we did is to convert the app.ts as our entry point. Okay, this ts will call our server.ts class instance, and then as you know, like this will just set up like this. So that's it. So guys, so I feel this setting up the nodejs and express along with TypeScript setup helps a lot to you, so that you can just continue on building your routes here. Within the route, just create users route and just put it under here and just go on. Okay, thank you folks.